Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Sorry I've been a bit quiet this month, but it's been for a good reason. Basically this month I accidentally started a website project along with Joshua, the developer of the Serpens add-on for Blender. Together we've created a new website called blend.stream, which basically helps you discover short films made with Blender. Now there's quite a bit I have to explain here. Back in December last year, on my second channel I did a video talking about different business ideas relating to Blender that I had that I didn't think I would ever get around to making. I recommend subbing to the second channel because that's the kind of stuff we talk about. And one of those ideas was a website interface. It's a bit like other streaming services, but it just points people towards Blender short films. That way, instead of stumbling on short films on YouTube, where you kind of see them like tech demos or just isolated tests, you would kind of trick yourself into visualizing them as actual entertainment content. So people would be able to take it a bit more seriously. Now, before people start commenting and saying, wait, are you just taking people's short films and then charging people for it? No, this is a fake streaming service website. It's all just YouTube embeds. So people can browse through the different short films available by category, and then when they click on them, it takes you to a page with the relevant information. It's made by Blender Studio, for example, got a description there, and if you play it, it just plays through a YouTube embed. So the important point here is all of the watch time and all of the ad revenue for any ads displayed on the embeds goes straight to the original creator. So it's just a new way for people that maybe don't have a pre-existing audience to find one by making short films. That was one of the things I wanted to try and tackle. And again, I explained this back in that second channel video. When it comes to making short films with Blender, it can be quite a disappointing exercise. If you don't already have an audience, you can spend like weeks, months, maybe years working on something and then put it out there and it gets like, I don't know, a few hundred, a few thousand views. And a lot of the time it doesn't really go anywhere. So people don't really feel as encouraged to, keep trying, keep developing skills. And I'm not saying this website will fix that because that's a really tall order. But the point of the site is just to maybe give some of those smaller creators a pathway to getting some viewership for those short films. Now I said smaller creators there. The size of the creator is irrelevant, as it always has been for all of the community sharing content I've ever done. And we did a soft release for this website on my second channel a few days ago. And strangely, immediately I got comments from people saying, oh, this is just going to be a thing where it's only going to be well-known creators being shared. I'm like, clearly people have no idea what we do here. Clearly people didn't even listen to the original pitch, but it's here. People are enjoying it. People are submitting. You can see on my page here, I've got 20 free short films to curate and add to the site. I can add other people as moderators as well in the future. So in this video, I'm just going to talk you through the website a bit more and explain, what stuff will be approved for the site, what stuff will be rejected, future plans, etc. So a few things right off the bat. This website project is not affiliated with Blender in any way. It's just a personal project of mine and Joshua's. Basically, I shared the idea in that old video. Joshua came along and said, hey, I made a prototype because they wanted to learn more about doing web development stuff. And then we basically kept playing with the prototype until it just turned into this. Also, no one's being paid to make this. In fact, I've lost some money making it because obviously the domain name cost a bit of money. We're hosting it on Vercel. They have a pretty good free plan and they can also sponsor open source projects in the future. So theoretically we could apply for that. The code for the website is on my GitHub as well if you want to take a look. So we're not hiding anything. It's all there for you to look at. And I know some of you have been looking at it because we saw that some profiles were created on the site before it was made public. So we'll talk a bit more about that. So yes, where do we start? Let's talk about what you see when you go onto the website. So when you arrive, you have the large banner here with a few featured films and they will cycle randomly. So at the moment we got Heroes of Bronze by Martin Klegner, fantastic new short film. We've got The Warlords, a fan-made Destiny film made by Drexus Animations. They work at Bungie now, really cool artist. And then we have Sprite Fright made by the Blender Studio. Now I can change these at any time. We just think that 3 was a good number for featured films for now. Then underneath you'll see new arrivals. So these are things which have been newly added to the site, but I will clarify that the order of these is the order they were submitted for review, not the order they were actually added. Maybe we can change that in the future, but just in case someone was watching that brand new space there thinking, oh, has mine been added yet? It might actually be a bit further down the line depending on how they were reviewed. So ideally we'll review them bottom up so they do get added in order. Then if you scroll down, there'll be different categories. Photorealism, NPR, science fiction. Now the important thing about this is I've made sure that they're organized randomly. I'm not interested in like special algorithms that dictate what's popular, blah, 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 none of that. I said to Joshua, let's make them random. So no matter how many films are in those categories, everyone has a fair chance of being seen. So the only category that isn't randomized is the new arrivals. So of course you can click on any of these and it will take you to the YouTube embed, and you'll find a button on here which takes you to the original channel as well. Well, at the moment it just takes you straight to the same video, but it's all there. there so you can find all the information you need. You'll notice a couple of other features, add to watch list and favorite. So basically you can have profiles on this website. Let's take a look at that. So I've come to a page where I'm not logged in. In the top right, you can see submit and login. You need to log in to be able to submit a film. The only integration we have at the moment is Discord login. Now I need to extend this text here. By signing in, you agree to our use of cookies, and then this is a placeholder. We only use necessary cookies to authorize certain actions. I want to put a bit here that says, when you log in with Discord, we create a profile for you on the website, which uses your Discord name and your profile picture. Now, the reason this is important is because when you submit a film, we could auto link it to your profile. So for example, let's take a look at Vertex Monster, right? So if I click through to their profile on the site, they signed in with Discord, made an account. They also filled out their bio, which you can optionally do. You don't have to do this, but you can basically have social links there. And when they submitted their movies and I approved them, it automatically linked it to their profile. So basically it's auto-generating a portfolio for you essentially. But again, the only information taken from that Discord login is your name and your profile picture. We do also have access to your email address. Okay, that's just something that happens as part of this integration. But it will tell you this if you try and sign in with Discord, as you can see here. An external application, Blend Stream, wants to access your Discord account. This will allow the developer to see your username, avatar, and banner, and access your email address. So those are the only things. The application cannot read your messages or send messages for you, so it's just your basic profile-centric info. If you click on your profile in the top right, once you've signed in, you can add stuff here, your bio, website, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, etc. So when you click on your public profile, it will appear there. I haven't fleshed mine out yet, but it basically means it's easy to keep track of who made what. Now, we don't have to attach films to Discord accounts. We can create new accounts for people that don't have profiles, and that's what we've done for a lot of things. For example, with Martin Kleckner, I just made his account for him, so we had somewhere to link Heroes of Bronze to. So when it comes to submitting films, if you click on the submit button, it says submit your own or another creator's movie below. We will review your submission and add it to the site as soon as possible, so you can submit your own films or films made by another person. Notice that if you do another creator, you can enter their name as well. So one thing I want to add on this page is just a little notice underneath about the kinds of things which are or are not allowed. And I want to keep it as simple as possible because, again, this site is about encouraging people to create short films with Blender. I don't want to impose harsh rules about time lengths or whether music videos are allowed or stuff like that, because that just, that's unnecessarily restrictive. I've had people say you should make a different page which has all the info and explains what the website is. No, we're not doing that. I want there to be as few pages as possible on this website because it's all about the content. I don't want to take people's attention away in a gratuitous about page which talks about like us or the website or whatever. Seems a bit too self-serving, but I'll explain to you now what will be approved or rejected. So basically, keeping in mind the Blender community is generally quite family friendly and accessible to all ages, and also we are encouraging YouTube to serve ads on this website, and also we're not hosting it manually. It's being hosted by Vercel, so keeping in mind that we've got all these different elements going on, I would like the content to be generally family friendly within reason. So if we're aiming for like an age range target, I'm thinking teens. And that's a lot of common sense stuff, right? So for example, if you talk about violence, if your short film contains some violence, I think that's fine. But if it's a video of someone being like dissected with like gore going everywhere, that's just like really hyper realistic, that's probably going to be rejected. If it's like extremely political or unnecessarily hateful, especially to minorities, obviously that's going to be rejected. If there's very mild nudity, it'll probably be fine. But if it's like DAZ 3D Blender then it's probably going to be rejected. So do you see what I mean? It's a lot of common sense stuff. The kinds of things that will be approved are relatively family friendly. The quality of the content doesn't really matter too much, again, within reason. I want to encourage new people to make Blender short films, but if it's really low quality, like, a default cube and a cylinder kind of moving around and that's about it, then probably going to be rejected. But you can already take a look on Blendstream. You can see quite a wide variety of quality types, right? We have some really high quality stuff and some lower quality stuff. So if you take a look around the website, you'll get a kind of feel for the range that we're talking about. Also, in terms of video length, right? Again, I don't want to impose any length restrictions. We have some videos that are less than 60 seconds long, I think. But talking about approval and rejection, imagine you had like a 30-second long animated short, but 20 seconds of it was just like an intro card. So there's only 10 seconds of content. That will probably be rejected just because there's not really much there. Okay, so hopefully that's all understood. I am looking for other moderators to help out with the project, but we don't really have a permission system at the moment. So moderators have the power to completely rearrange how the site looks. So I'm only going to add people that I really trust with the site. So ideally, I've been thinking about people that have experience with content moderation and curation. I've already sent a message to someone who I have actually recommended in a previous community roundup video. video. So we'll see. And I'm sure a lot of people out there have a lot of ideas for new features, so let's just talk about that. At the moment, we only support individual films. It would be nice to support series as well. We haven't got around to that yet. So if you have a long series of content, maybe just hold out for a bit, because if you submit 10 short films that are part of a series, they'll probably get rejected for now, just because that will disrupt this random discoverability system and make it a bit more unfair. So if you have a series, hold out until we get series pages in and then submit to that. We're still trying to figure out exactly how that works. But on the flip side of that, if you do have a series that's only like, 2 or 3 short films, then they're probably fine for you to submit. For example, going back to Vertex Monster again, you might consider this like a series, even though they're all individual, but there's 4 of them, they're quite separate, and it doesn't really overtake the front page with a disproportionate amount of content, if that makes sense. So I'm always trying to keep in mind this fairness principle. We might add a featured section underneath here as well, so like our favorite picks, which we might kind of swap things in and out, it depends. But again, I just want to make sure people understand this is not a paid project. Like, no one working on this website is being paid for it, so it's all quite low priority when compared to other things. I've taken a big risk this month in spending a lot of time on free projects, so I haven't just been working on this, we've done a bit of stuff on Biogen V10 as well, which is also a free add-on, so it's been very risky in that department. So if you have feature requests, just, post them respectfully, don't be demanding, because this always happens. Whenever I put a new project out, I get like a wave of people trying to shoehorn in all these ideas and get really demanding about it, and that's just not going to fly. But if you do want to help to support the project, then you can support Joshua and I independently. They have the Serpens add-on on Blender Market if you want to check that out and just take a look at all of their work. Of course, I have my Patreon, Gumroad products, etc. Subscribe to this channel, ring the notification bell, all that stuff. But Patreon is a good place to help support. So let's talk about transparency with cookies as well. Like I said, we did a soft release of this website on the second channel. We wanted a way to keep track of which were the most popular films being clicked on. Joshua wanted to learn about post hog, so we integrated that into the website to start with. But then we noticed that Vercel has its own analytics system, Vercel being the hosting platform. And Vercel used no cookies, whereas post hog was using cookies, as far as I understand this. So we decided in the end to get rid of post hog and then go for Vercel. So now we're using Vercel analytics to keep track of which pages are being clicked on. And that, again, to my understanding, does not use cookies. So we used to have a little notice in the bottom right about cookies, and now we don't because it's not using them. However, again, when you choose to log in with Discord, that creates a cookie to keep you signed in. So for even more transparency, let's just talk about that. So Vercel, better insights, peak performance, upgrade your post-launch workflow with actionable insights, then experiment until you reach peak conversion rates. If you take a look down, privacy-friendly real-time traffic insights, collect essential insights about how visitors are using your site with in-depth page view metrics like top pages, top referring sites, and demographics. And here you can see bye-bye banners, no cookies, no personal information stored. I will show you what this looks like on Vercel. I'm in the Blendstream project, I'm under analytics, we can see visitors and page views. If I click through these, then we can see the top pages, and if we explore this, we can see which movies have been clicked on the most. It tells us top referrers, countries, operating systems, and browsers, so this is what we have access to. We can also see the web vitals for how long it takes to load pages, so this gives us room for optimization. In addition to this, the other service we're using is Supabase. This is the database to keep track of what movies are on the lists, what the URLs are, the profiles created by the Discord accounts, etc. So one thing we should probably also add here is a way to delete the profile, which will probably also delete the films. We haven't done that yet, so basically if you submit something to the site and it gets approved and you want it removed, just shoot us a message, we'll do it for you. That is until we add a feature to remove things manually, but yeah, like I said, going back to it all, this website doesn't generate any income. It's all just a wrapper around YouTube content to get people clicking on other people's short films. Hopefully that should increase their watch time and ad revenue. To show you what adverts look like on this website, if I find my ePork short and click on that, you will see in the bottom that there is a little yellow bar there. So basically the adverts that show on embeds are slightly different to the ones that show on YouTube. You'll notice that when it hits that, it turns on an advert, and ironically this one says turn off all ads, but it is an ad. It's an ad for total ad block, but that's basically how it works. And again, the code for the website is up on the GitHub as well, so you're welcome to take a look around. And again, new features may take a while to add just because it's low priority. We've taken some risks this month and probably need to invest some time in other things as well. Joshua's got uni, I've got a lot of catching up to do in terms of paid projects. So yeah, if you made it this far through the video, then put some kind of film related emoji in the comments, like a camera or a video camera or something like that. You are welcome to submit things to the site. I'll try talking to some new people to get them set up as moderators as well, and I'll start seeing if I can start making those changes that I mentioned to add a bit more information. Remember, if you have any requests, ask them respectfully. I'm not the only one working on the project this time. Hopefully this website complements the community roundup series quite well, and we're going to keep an eye on the bandwidth and just make sure that we can keep it up and running without having to actually pay anything. We do have some avenues to make that possible. So yeah, hope you find it interesting. Have a great day everyone, and I'll see you next time.